The moment you make it in a black family, you don't just provide for yourself, you become everybody's plan B. And nobody asked you if you were ready for that. They told us to build generational wealth. Nobody mentioned we'd be paying off generational debt first. African children are more likely to support their parents financially than any other group in the world. My people, that's not loyalty. That's a tax the system never told you about. Success in Africa comes with a hidden bill. You pay it in silence, in guilt. Let me be very clear about something before we go any further. Black tax is not a myth. It is not a personal failure. It is a generational phenomenon. It has a name. It has a name because millions of us are living it, suffocating under it, and nobody is talking about it honestly. So here's the definition of black tax, sometimes called the African family tax. It refers to the financial responsibility that African individuals bear for their extended families and communities, simply because they are the ones who made it. You did not sign a contract. You did not raise your hand and say, I'll be the one who's doing this and that. You just succeeded. In the African context, whether you are in Harare, Lagos, Nairobi, Accra, or London, Toronto, wherever you are, that success comes with a bill. A bill no one hands you. A bill that has no due date. A bill that never fully clears. Now I need to stop right there. I need to stop right there. Because if you're watching this video and you're already feeling some type of way, maybe defensive, maybe emotional, maybe relieved that someone is finally saying it loud, stay with me because this conversation has two sides. And I promise you we are going to honor both of the sides. To understand black tax, you have to understand where it came from, because it did not just appear one day. Black tax was built centuries ago before colonization carved Africa into pieces with the rulers and treaties. African societies were communal, not because they could not contain individual wealth, no, but because collective survival was wisdom, not weakness. The village fed the orphans. The extended families raised the child when the parents could not. This, my people, this was Ubuntu. I am because you are. And then colonization happened. Colonization dismantled African economies. It disrupted inheritance. It destroyed land rights. It extracted resources and left behind poverty. I would say structured poverty. Poverty that was designed to persist. And when independence came, let's be honest, for many nations, it came with strings attached. The economic systems left behind were not to build or save African people. They were built to save an extraction. What do I mean? After colonization, Africans were left with a trauma. Now, here we are in 2026. Let me paint you a picture. You leave Nigeria or Kenya or Ghana or Zimbabwe, Harare. You live with nothing. Maybe a scholarship, maybe a borrowed suitcase, definitely borrowed hope. And you land in a country that was not built with you in mind. So when you get there, you face racism, you face loneliness, you face winters that your body was not designed for. You work double shifts. You study until your eyes burn. You smile at people who look through you. You laugh at jokes you don't find funny at all, so they will give you a reference. And slowly, you build something. A career, a small savings account, maybe a car that doesn't embarrass you, maybe a flat you actually own there in the diaspora. You've done well for yourself. And then the calls start coming in. My son, how are you? By the way, your cousin needs school fees. Auntie was in hospital. We used that money we were saving. You know how things are here back in Africa. Your father's car broke down. He can't go to work without it. You are the one we are counting on. Don't worry, we will pay you back. They never pay you back because they can't. They can't pay you back. Not because they are dishonest, but because the cycle never breaks. Listen to me. And here is what nobody tells you about diaspora life. If you are in the diaspora, you are the richest person in your family and broke at the same time. Broke in a way that your colleagues cannot even understand. Your British co-worker earns the same salary as you, but she's saving for a down payment. You're sending £500 to Lagos, Harare, Nairobi, here back in Africa. Your British friend takes a vacation every year. They can afford it. But remember, they are getting the same pay as you. You haven't been on a proper vacation in 3 years because every time you have extra money, the phone buzzes. You are building two lives with one income. One here, one there. And you are exhausted. And the most painful part, you feel guilty for being exhausted because you know that what people are dealing with back home is real, very real. You have seen it with your own eyes. The leaking roof, the medication that cost 3 months' salary, the school that threatened to send your little sister home. You know it's real. It's there. So my friends, it's not just financial, it is emotional violence, slow, quiet, and dressed in love at the end of the day. Before we go any further, I need to speak to a different group of people right now who are watching this video. This conversation is not only about the diaspora community. If you're in Africa right now, Lagos, Accra, Nairobi, Kampala, Johannesburg, Harare, and you are the successful one in your family, you know this weight. You know this weight too. You don't have to be abroad. You just have to have a job, a formal job, and that's enough. In many African cities, if you work in a bank, if you are a doctor, you are automatically enrolled in a system you never applied for. Black tax. Your salary comes in, and before you have processed your own needs, your mother calls about your uncle's funeral contribution. Your father reminds you about the house extension he started in 2017 and never finished. 3 cousins need small help. Small, with business capital. Your church expects a certain level of giving from someone you're standing. Your landlord wants his rent, your actual rent. And if you have to look at a bigger picture, the mathematics do not add up. They never add up. If you're in Zimbabwe and you want to study in the US, but you don't know where to start, this is for you. So here's the thing, a lot of students miss opportunities because of these challenges. They don't know the application, scholarship, or visa process. Don't worry, I've got a solution for you. Prestige Scholar. Prestige Scholar helps Zimbabwean students with university applications, scholarship guidance, and support through the US enrollment process. You know it's easy only when you work with the professionals. So here's the thing, to get started, visit our website www.prestigescholar.com. Or you can also check the link in my description box or the pinned comment in the comments. So here's the thing. There is a woman I want you to think about. I want you to imagine this. She's a pharmacist here in Harare, Zimbabwe. Mid-30s, brilliant. She has worked for 11 years. She has no savings. Not because she's irresponsible, not because she lives a lavish lifestyle, but because for 11 years she has been paying her sister's wedding, her mother's medical bills, her father's burial, all of it. She tried to start a small investment. Her cousin became aware of it and came to borrow just a little. She is 40 now. She has nothing saved for retirement for herself. And when people ask her why she is not married, they don't ask about the 11 years she spent building people's lives. And her own life set on pause. She was busy building people's lives. This is a system crisis hiding inside our culture. Because at the end of the day, looking out for each other is sort of like our culture. Let's talk numbers for a moment. Studies from South Africa, Nigeria, and Kenya consistently show that Black and African professionals send between 10% to 30% of their income home to family each month. In some cases, it's more. In South Africa, where the term black tax was formally coined, research from 2021 showed that nearly 50% of the Black South African earners support at least 5 additional people. That's a lot. And here's the most devastating number of all. Economists estimate that black tax delays wealth building by an entire generation. Let that sink in. 1 generation. Guys, we are running a race where we start 30 meters behind the line, carrying extra weight, and we are told to be grateful we are even allowed on the track. And I want to be careful here, because some people will hear this and say, see, African culture is the problem. We need to stop helping each other. That's what other people would say. But no. That is not what I'm saying here. The problem is not communal care. We should care for each other. The problem is structure inequality that has outsourced its responsibility on some individuals in the society. The problem is governments that refuse to build functional systems. The problem is economies that leave a whole community behind. The problem is generational poverty that concentrates on certain families, our families, because of history. The solution is to name the system for what it is and start protecting ourselves within it. The most dangerous part of black tax is not the money. The most dangerous part is what we don't say. We don't tell our partners because they already think our family is too much. We don't tell our parents because how do you tell the woman who carried you for whole 9 months, who sacrificed for you? How do you say that? You carry it in the form of anxiety, work stress. If you're in the diaspora, at least you can afford a doctor. What about those in Africa? The first conversation we need to have is within our families, and I know that sounds terrifying. Will never happen. African families were never built for financial transparency. We were built for sacrifice. We were built for don't let the neighbors know. But at the end of the day, silence is keeping us trapped. If you are the breadwinner carrying your family, you need to start having honest conversations about what you can give, what you cannot, and why. Not as an ultimatum, not as a rejection, but as a declaration of your own humanity. You are not a bank. You are not a miracle worker. You are a person with limits, with dreams, with a future that deserves protection too. And the people who love you, truly love you, can hear that, and they need to understand that. They may not receive it perfectly the first time, but the conversation has to start somewhere. And if you are the family member right now, the one who calls for help, the one who has come to rely on the successful one, I need you to hear something too. I'm not blaming you. I understand the circumstances that brought you here. I understand that you are not asking out of laziness. You are asking because the system around you has failed you too. But I want to invite you into a different kind of love. A love that says, I want to see you thrive, not just survive. Because if we drain the well completely, if we drain the person who is helping, there will be no well left for any of us, for anyone at all. I want to talk about generational wealth because that phrase gets thrown around a lot. And for us, for black people, for Africans, it is a dream and a cruel joke at the same time. Generational wealth is built by saving money consistently, investing over time, purchasing assets, passing those assets down to the next generation. You know what black tax does to all of that? It takes the saving and redirect it to a crisis. It takes the investment and turns it into someone else's school fees. It takes the assets you were building and liquidates them, all of it, to pay for a hospital bill that insurance should have covered but did not. And then people look at your communities, they look at our families, at our neighborhoods, at our statistics, and they have the audacity, sheer audacity to say, why don't black people have wealth? As if the system did not extract it, as if history did not steal it. As of right now, today, 2026, our most successful individuals aren't funding the gap that broken governments left behind. We are not bad at wealth, not at all. We are spending our wealth on survival for ourselves and for everyone connected to us, and calling that failure is one of the most insane things I've realized and had in my God-given life. The wealth gap between black and white South Africans remains one of the highest in the whole world. In the UK right now, black households hold a fraction of the wealth that the white households hold. These are not accidents. These are the compound interest of centuries of extraction, pure extraction. So what do? I won't pretend there is an easy answer. No, not at all. But there is a starting point. First of all, what we need to do, name it the whole black tax, name it to tame it. Call black tax what it is. It is a structural burden with a name. Second, build a family financial plan, not just an individual one. This sounds radical, I know, but some of the most progressive African families have started doing this. There is a need for a structure. Sit together, look at the real numbers, create family budgets, rotate responsibilities in the family, build family emergency funds so that one person is not always the single point of failure. And also, most importantly, protect your own oxygen mask first. What do I mean? You cannot help anyone from a hospital bed. Build your own savings, even a small emergency fund. Separate love from money. Your love for your family is real. We know. Your responsibility to your future is also real. You should know that. You can say no to a request and still love the person who asked. You can set a limit on what you send and still be a good child, a good sibling, a good cousin. Love and money are not the same currency. Stop spending one to prove the other. And for the policymakers, for the governments watching this video, fund the public hospitals, make education accessible, create pension systems that works. Because every rand, every naira, every dollar, every shilling that our people are spending on family survival is money that should be building the next generation of African wealth. I want to end with something personal because I think we all need to hear it. If you have been carrying this weight for a long time, if you have been sending money you did not have and smiling at Christmas gatherings so that no one would know, you are not doing it wrong. You are doing it alone. That's the problem. And that is a very, very different thing. You have not failed. You have been asked to carry what a system refused to. You have been asked to be someone's government, someone's pension, someone's miracle all by yourself. And you have shown up for people. Even when it cost you sleep, you showed up. That is not weakness. That is love in its most brutal and beautiful form. I wish people can understand that. What you're doing, helping your relatives, your cousins, that is love. But in its most brutal and beautiful form. And you're doing it alone, that's the problem. But I need you to hear me. Your future deserves investment too. Your dreams deserve resources. And the conversation, the hard and comfortable, loving conversation about what you can carry and what you cannot, that conversation can start with you. You need to sit down with them and tell them. Not with anger, not with ultimatums, not with abandonment, but with the truth. Black tax is real. The love it comes from is real. The exhaustion it creates is also real. This is one of the 10 episodes that we are creating as sit-down videos. I'm not going out for the next 10 videos. I won't be going out. It will be just me sitting down. It has always been something I craved for, for at least maybe make like a 10 series where I'm sitting down and you know what to do. You are an adult. If you're watching this video, I know you are an adult, and bye-bye.